Good morning. It's a dull day here, weather-wise, so far. And Bear is being a bug, being vocal for no reason, and it makes it hard to edit videos when he's barking, because what happens is you're listening to the replay and then it wakes him up and then he starts barking at the dog, which is him in the video. Good boy. Good boy. He's lay down. Yay. But we've been out for our wander this morning. Bear's had breakfast. Batty and Elsa don't want breakfast. There's hunters appeared, 2, in the land just over the way on the way back from the walk. So as we was coming down and turning, there was a car, bon dia, saying hello, good morning, and he was like, bon dia, and then I seen things in the hands that was like tripods or something. They were off wandering into the bush. Now the dogs didn't want anything to do with them, which I was really happy about, because I don't want the dogs wandering off after folk to say hello, and especially strangers, because it's good that the strangers give their consent before dogs go wandering up. But for whatever reason, the dogs chose not to go and say hello this morning, and they were kind of a little bit more quiet and just stuck to me. Not in an ominous way, but they were. And we came in and I made them breakfast, and Elsa and Batty have refused. So Bear had half his breakfast, which is not like Bear either. And I've put the kettle on. So I've now got a cup of tea. I'm having a bit different this morning. I'm having a special one for cleansing and clearing. It's got camphor in it and all sorts of things. So I'm looking forward to that. What else are we doing there, Mr. Bear? Yeah, we're just settling down. We know we've got a visitor coming to collect a few bits this morning, or today at some point, and well, it's like this. I'm not really going to do much at all, I don't think. I mean, I'm hurting still, but I'm hurting in a new way. Last night I had a hot chocolate. Now I don't drink, and I'd bought a special liqueur that the little old medicine woman had made. And liqueurs, if they're anything like my grandparents, they kind of last for a very long time, and you just have a little bit and put it away, and then you don't have to touch it till next year, I thought, oh, liqueur for my mum and dad come, and then for, like, maybe I'll have a little bottle for us at Creative Rootz, and we can have a hot chocolate to celebrate maybe Christmas or something. Well, I didn't have a hot chocolate to celebrate. And last night I saw the marshmallows. And I thought, So I made hot chocolate with liqueur and marshmallows and sat snuggled in bed with Batty. And I really enjoyed it, and using the spoon to pull out the marshmallows. And then I was just sitting with things. And I decided to try and just sit with being and the pain. So as I sat there, well, I lay there. I'd lay down by that point. I noticed my mind darting off in different ways, as it does with meditation. As you're settling down, it usually tries to take you off on a journey into the past or way into the future, into things that have not happened yet, that you can't possibly know what would happen. It takes you there anyway, for all these what ifs and could be's and possibilities, and I'm bringing myself back to the present and think, haha, caught up again. Come on now, breathe. And I'm laying there thinking, what can I feel? And then I felt the pain. I thought, what is this pain? What is this pain? And is it pain? You know? What is it? What was this feeling, these sensations? I noticed my body was all tight and it felt enclosed and pressurized in all different, from all different directions, like I was almost in a container of pressure all over. I noticed my head and I thought, oh, tension, headache, you know, when it's there and it's like a tense pressure. I noticed a funny, weird feeling like a frog in my throat. I thought, there's something I've not been saying. I'm not sure what it is. And my shoulders, I could notice the pain. You call it pain, but it was kind of like a knot in my back, in between my shoulder blades. I noticed Batty's pressure against me on one side as he snuggled up. I thought, well, look at the dogs. Look at their presence. Look at how they are. Look at how they're happy just being. And then I was thinking about my just being. And I noticed how when I'm just being, I'm often in some form of doing whilst trying to be. And that usually settles me into being in the moment. But that time between doing and being is kind of like a ping pong between getting caught up, letting go, getting caught up, letting go, and eventually I'm just settled right there. And I felt Batty again, and I'm thinking, you're a real good teacher, Batty. Look how you are with me and with others. Look how Elsa is and Bear. Bear not as much, but definitely Elsa is with me. How they just kind of just be in that moment, and they have this desire to be with you and not be with anyone else. They just want to be fully present with you in that moment and just hang out. And Batty likes his occasional snuggles and pets, you know. But he really just likes to sit and be with me. It led me to thinking of feeling back into the pain again. This is what my head does sometimes as it's settling into meditation, because I'm going between, I go dropping between like witnessing myself, so observing myself as a third person, and then dropping into being myself. And then when I notice that I'm caught up, I drop back into observing myself again. And I was observing Batty and observing me in my behaviour and what I do, and then feeling into me in how I was feeling my body and things. And so it's a bit difficult to follow, I'd imagine, but I was lay there and I returned to the pain, because I was thinking, you know, you guys can hang out what is it with me? Like, why? How can I achieve? How can I attain what you guys can? And be fully present with others, and not attached to any other outcome other than being present, you know, in that moment. So I was there, being present with myself, or trying, and feeling this pain and stuff in my body, this pressure, this tightness. And I noticed it was connected to sadness. And I noticed that this feeling had been there. It wasn't an unfamiliar feeling. It's a feeling that I've felt a lot. And I felt it most of my life. And I felt it as a child. And as I grew up, I continued to feel this strange tenseness and this sorrow and this sadness and this, I call it a pain, but this tightness and this fear of not being able to connect. I noticed it was loneliness. I thought, fuck me, it's loneliness. I'm lonely. And I had not realised. So I sat with the loneliness, and I was sitting there with this realising that it was lonely, and just allowed it to be. And as I'm sitting there with this acknowledgement of what it was, the pressure released. It was almost like an unfurling. How, as the pressure left, my body just relaxed and dropped into this more. I didn't notice until it did it, how that before I was kind of hunched and tight, and even my hands was all curled and fisty, and you know, everything was, I thought it was relaxed, but it wasn't. And with this unfurling, it was like I sank into my bed, and my head stretched back, and my neck stretched back, and my shoulders opened up, and my heart space opened, and my hands freed off, and I just felt lighter and more peaceful and at ease. And I thought, wow, you know, this is cool, and this is really comfortable, and wow, wasn't I tight, like, and this morning I noticed that I'm still a lot looser than I was, and although I got a bit tighter regards to the dogs and the barking and the hunters and stuff, I've noticed that I'm a lot more like, you know, but it's almost like, you know, when you've got that feeling, it's almost like a whole physical exhale, where all of a sudden you just are at a deeper level of being. So I'm going to leave you with that, and I'm going to go and get my tea, and I will catch up with you and update you later on today, where maybe I'll be planting some rosemary, which was a gift from Michelle and Miranda, but maybe not. But all the same, it's time for tea. So Edgar Lucas has just been and I say his full name like that so that you know that this is the guy who, if you're in the area of Larsa, Castello Branco, or the surrounding areas like Lardosa, Escolas de Cima, San Miguel de Acha, anywhere around here, and Orca, and you're looking for IBCs, this is the guy you go to. This is the guy who sells IBCs, and they're roughly €70, and you can collect them from the Lardosa, or he'll deliver it if you get 4. So yeah, Edgar Lucas is the guy to know in the area for that. Now, I think he'll deliver anywhere in Castello Branco, but he's also does Lucas construction. But I did a really cool deal, so he's took some of the stuff that I didn't need anymore, and he's gifted me, or exchanged me, 5 litres of olive oil and a big jar of his own honey. So I'm really excited because now we have olive oil and honey in abundance. We already had an abundance of olive oil, but now we have even more of an abundance of olive oil. So I'm really happy about that. Anyway, I'm going to go and put Bear outside. Oh, I'm just sitting on the bed. Took a fair bit of effort, but I got Elsa up here. Although she doesn't look too happy. I think once she settles in with me and Bat, she'll feel much better. On the other hand, Batty is in his usual observation point spot thing, and I'm just here, just being. Alright, Elsa. So yeah, strange day today. Because there seems to be an abundance of hunters, which is all very well and good, but it seems like there are all sorts of like different directions. Obviously they're not on my land, on my piece of Pachamama that I'm caretaking, but everywhere else, Batty's not happy at all. Elsa's very unsure. Bear's insisted on being outside, which is, I guess it's just a Bear thing. Come on, Batty. He seems to be shaking. Come on. Come on, my little one. It's alright. Huh? You alright? So yeah. I did try and do a video based on my vision. Every time I started, Bear started shouting going on with himself, and a car came past or something happened. So I decided that now mustn't be the time, or then wasn't the time, and maybe now is the time. The time is always now, but it depends what's going on in the now, or what's supposed to go on in the now, you know. So right now I'm settling in on the bed for snuggles with Batty and Elsa, and I've had cheesy beans for lunch, which is awesome. I'm contemplating life. I can hear crying now. That'll be Bear. You know, he's not happy inside. He's not happy outside. You can't walk constantly during the day. I can't let him off anywhere at the minute because of the hunters. So guess that makes everything rather limited. I'll have to go out and see what I can do. So, having quite a chilled out day, apart from being the barking with him. It's doing my head right in. Because when there's so much barking, you just can't think. And I've locked him in his enclosure in the hope he'll stay in, because he's been so destructive. He's ripped up bags and stolen the cream cheese packet. And he's just been really misbehaving. So I really hope that Annie can find out what it is. Otherwise, he'll be moving himself back to the pound. As much as I don't want to do that as such, I've got to think about what's best and for the highest good. And I don't want to live with a dog that doesn't shut up. I don't want to live with a dog that it doesn't listen. It needs more attention than I can give it. I mean, it's having a hell of a lot of attention considering what it came from, a kennels where it wasn't really bothered with, and it's had so much love and attention here. And it's the walks and the food and everything. But it's something that I'm not willing to continue putting up with or putting my energy into. So we'll see how he goes. It won't stop me looking at getting another dog, but Elsa, and I'm sure those who followed know the issues that I had with Elsa, how much work Elsa needed, and we hung out and we did it. And yesterday she met another dog and she didn't attack it, and she was just like, okay, this is another dog, I'm not sure what to do now anymore. And that was brilliant, you know. So Elsa's no bother at all. Obviously I've got to be wary and keep on with the socialising, but the destruction with Bear, with fences and the poor chickens and things that he rips apart and things that he digs up is getting beyond a joke. And I'm doing my best to try and work with that. But right now I'm not sitting with him because I just can't be doing with sitting with him. And it's frustrating not being able to continue with other stuff, because while he goes on barking and things like that, my head just doesn't, it won't tune into anything else. So I find it hard to function. But Batty's being his little starry self, snuggled up on the bed. Elsa's down the bottom now, snuggled up on her bed. Fire's going to try and dry out the salt lamps. I've spoken to a guy who's looking at coming, which we have possibilities there of a new volunteer. Spoken to him for about 3 hours. Seems to have beautiful core values, and is very possibly our kind of person. The thing is, though, that I've noticed with people coming and, of course, people asking to volunteer, which has happened a fair bit over the last few days, is I'm noticing how protective I've become and how closed I am. Like, instead of the hi, can I make you a cup of tea and all that kind of thing, which is me usually, or come and would you like to see and can I show you round and all that lot. It's hardly happened at all, because it's like almost I'm worried to let people in or let people to see what's here. And that's what happens when you let someone in who doesn't respect the ground that they're on, the thing, the environment they're in, and causes damage. And I'm still not able to do much today because I've been cleaning so much, and I still have more cleaning to do. So the aftermath of hosting the wrong kind of people for a project seems to really, it isn't just like, okay, and just carry on. It really does have some, say, roots, fairly deep roots that are causing things that make me, to be extra, not just vigilant and wary, but almost paranoid, which is incredibly unhealthy. So yeah, I am noticing that, working with that, and I did talk to this person about that and say, the next people or person to come is gonna needs to be aware that this is how I'm feeling right now, and they need to have the patience to help me work through it, because not everyone is the same. And for me to want to, for me to not just want to, but to make my vision work, to live my truth, to do this, I've really got to face this and keep walking forward, mindfully, but in a way that allows me to work through that and come out with a positive outcome. So I'm going to go and have a cup of tea now and see if my internet's strong enough to let me listen to more Joseph Goldstein. We're just back from walking the dogs, and these three ladies were out on the road. Me and Bear managed to bring them back in, and now Bear's on the tree and I'm just bringing him right round. Come on in, come on, good girls. Go on. Wait, yeah, that's right. Can you go to your little house? Hey, and you? Hey, steady on, Bear. Go on, it's all right. Good girl. Okay, so I'm just in. It's dark out. The chickens are in bed. One of them didn't want to go in. They just wanted to sit on my shoulder. I was like, come on, what's going on? Why don't you want to go in there? And when I've moved the food to the other side where I usually put it, she hopped off and went in. So I guess she likes the food being where it was and not in a new place, which I totally get that. So yeah, chickens are tucked up in bed now. Bear's just settling down. I think he wants to go OUT, but I've told him we're not going to bed. We're just having a little, a little rest, and I'll take him out again because he's not been to the loo. He's been for a wee, but he's not been for, on our walk or when we got back from the walk and stuff. So I don't want to get woken up in the morning if I can help it. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit and then I'll take him out. So yeah, I guess that's where we're up to for all those beans. Fire's on. I'm still trying to dry out the salt lamps and get it a little bit warmer in here. What else? I've been listening to Joseph Goldstein. It's funny. It's funny, but it's also how the universe works. The universe always works for the highest good at all times. So when I was sitting with myself and being with things, and my body unfurled because of the being able to sit with it and allow it space. I didn't know really at the time. I just knew to sit and be and allow things. I haven't got the years of experience and practice that Joseph Goldstein has, or any of the other greats like Tara Brach. And I decided one of the last videos ago, I thought, oh, I'm gonna done today, of course, I'm gonna listen to, I feel like listening to some more of him, but I won't listen to the same thing as yesterday. And the first thing that came up was pain and trust. I thought, oh, okay. And I listened to it, and he was talking about what I'd been doing. And it's like, oh wow, that's really cool. Because there isn't ever any wrong way to meditate. It's all part of the journey. So you're not supposed to sit and have complete silence. It's about observing and being present with what's coming up. And yeah, we all get caught up at first. No one just sits, well, to my knowledge, no one sits in meditation and just, woo, straight there. And the reason why people struggle so much with meditation is because when you meditate, it's so hard because so many difficult things come up that it's not exactly the pleasurable thing that people make it out to be at first. You know, everyone goes, oh yeah, just meditate. Yeah, you just sit in. And it's like, it really doesn't work like that. Because when you actually sit and be present and don't get carried off on your magic carpet rides into your subconscious, like, and whiz about the past and the future, where you're at and what shoots up, it can be really difficult. And it's such a journey. Meditation's such a journey. And journeying is very similar to meditation, only you journey with it. So you use the journey of meditation to take you to places and to work with things, and to bring about a deeper awareness through other ways, different ways of visualizing and things that just come up. So it's the very similar journeys and meditations, but one's more, I don't know, one's journeys are almost like you're taking part in a movie, and a meditation's like you're just seeing what shows up in the movie, and it's very, very often a movie of your life somewhere or other, either the movie of now or the movie of what was, or the movie of what could be, or just the movie of I don't know, it's so many people have different things. Some people, it's like just see colours, some people see shapes, some people see symbols. It's all different. It's similar for journeys as well, you know. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna go make my vid for today, and I'll probably return to Joseph's pain and trust thing and go through it again, because the extra added info is fab. And the reason why I like to listen to things over and over is because neurons which fire together wire together. So when you've had a stroke, or when your memory's not that good, and as you get older and stuff, it helps to build up a practice to be able to take things in. So by repeating things, we're rewiring our brain to do something that we want it to do, and we're building good habits. So I always try and do things more than once or twice, because I get more out of it, and I don't have, on the first sitting, if you say sitting. The first time I sit with anything, even a human, I don't always get everything out that I could do, and especially when there's things going on in the background. So I like to really be present in that moment with that other soul or whatever's going on, to be able to fully be with that other person, or be with myself, or be in that moment. And when I get the opportunities through watching videos and, you know, podcasts and things like that, I like to repeat. Because there's nothing wrong with it, you know. It's for the highest good. So if you like what you're hearing, if you're interested to know more, then please like it if you like what you're doing. If you don't like it, put a little thumbs down. You know, speak your truth. Share comments. Subscribe to follow us and see what's going on in the world of Creative Rootz. And if you would like to know, you know, what's going on when it's going on, hit that notification bell so you get to find out more. And that's about it really for today, as far as I know, from me and the furred and feathered friends here at Creative Rootz. We send out lots and lots of love to all of you, and hope to hear from you and see you, and share more with you in our future, and that should hopefully be tomorrow. All right then. Well, good night. God bless, universe bless, purple-headed unicorn bless, whatever you believe in. May you have a blessed evening, blessed day. Take care, and I'll see you soon.